needs, how to adjust, bring in new offensive coordinator, and they're flying high. They didn't look as great week 1, but the last 2 weeks, lots of improvement and lots to prove.
Brady Denneberg puts toe to leather out of the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and we'll get to see this revamped Army offense led by Bryson Daly at quarterback.
Yeah, and Bryson Daly, when we talked to the coaches about him, and they said, man, he is built like a linebacker. Not necessarily going to shifty run around you, but he'll operate this option-style offense, incorporate these RPOs. He has an arm to get it out there to shoot the ball downfield. But if he does pull it down and run, watch out. He'll run you over. He'll lower that shoulder, Chris. He'll give you the business.
Junior out of Abernathy, Texas. First year as a starter, and already you can see a difference with Army. In the shotgun with just one back, Markel Johnson flanked to his right. Tight end in motion. Give to Johnson. Tries the left side. Syracuse defense is there. No gain.
It's going to be a test up front for Syracuse defensively. They run this 3-3-5 defense. Rocky Long, kind of the originator of that defense. Now he's back and running this operation. And they are so used to doing a lot of twist movements up front, but if Army gets their splits really tight, they're not going to be able to do that. So we'll have to watch this line of scrimmage and who gets the movement.
Hand off up the middle. Kanye Udo, the ball carrier. Give him about 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and Army is known for going for it on 4th down. They're 10 for 10 on the season on 4th down conversions. So they treat 3rd down as, hey, we don't need to necessarily pick up the first. We need to get close enough where we can set up a 4th and 1 if possible.
You can see Syracuse defensive numbers. They have been stalwarts this year. You got to think this is the most efficient offense they've faced, though, on the season. Pass out to the flats. That's going to move the sticks. Elijah Clark on the tackle, but Noah Short brought it in. And he got enough to move the chains. 8 yards on the pitch and catch.
And here it is, right? Not just a straight handoff. It's, hey, let's get the ball outside. Create some one-on-one matchups. These wide receivers are so used to blocking and blocking, so they already have that in their toolbox. These screen plays are a huge part of this offense. It's basically like a pitch in the old triple option.
They'll send Reed out in motion. Now bring him back. Sprint out to the left. Again, that's short. Give him about 7 yards. Elijah Clark on the stop. That was an interesting formation, too, an interesting motion. I don't know if I've ever seen a back like that in the gun. Yep. Sprint out to the left and then right back where he started from.
Yeah, it's trying to figure out what the defense is doing. Your back goes out. If a linebacker goes with him, you're thinking man-to-man. And so they knew what defense Syracuse is going to be in. Here you go again, man-to-man defense. What does that tell them?
Fake to Mundell. That time, Daly was dropped for a loss, and Terry Lockett in the backfield makes it happen.
And negative plays are what will kill an Army offense. Still heavily rely on the run game, but negative plays like this one, great job on the read by Lockett. They set up 3rd and long, right here, 3rd and medium.
Hayden Reed in the backfield with Daly. Syracuse showing pressure, and they bring it. Reed on the carry is going to come up about a yard shy. Jason Simmons made the stop. It'll be even more than a yard, about a yard and a half. Army will go for it on 4th down. As a matter of fact, they're a perfect 10 for 10 on this season going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, and they're going to bring in Jacoby Buchanan. They're 6 foot, 260-pound running back right there. You see that big boy. He does nothing but go downhill. Load up the box.
This is going to be a collision, I feel. The give to Buchanan straight through the center of that Syracuse defensive front, and a 1st down.
There you go. Doing some work right up the middle, and great job getting a hat for a hat. And when those shoulder pads get low like that and he runs behind the pads, there's not much you can do to stop it.
Now in Syracuse territory, keeping Buchanan in. He and Daly have a word pre-snap. Jet sweep. Good yardage on first down from Noah Short. Give him 5 yards, and Short was a guy who was on the defensive side of the football last year before moving over to offense in the spring, and it's paying dividends for the Black Knights.
Yeah, and you watch this block. Now he's going to be used as a lead blocker up and through on the jet sweep. And just a really good job of finding the next level blocker, picking up 6 yards on first down, and they're going to go left, they're going to go right, they're going to go up the middle, and you got to be ready for the movement, especially on the offensive line. Pullers in all these different directions. It's new for Army.
Zach Mundell in motion, now back towards his quarterback. Short will look to throw. Quick pass to Buchanan. Big hit at the 40. As Buchanan was met by Jason Simmons. No fear from Simmons, the 6', 196-pound safety.
And, hey, we showed him run the ball. We showed him block, and now you see him get out in the flat. Coaches said he has good hands, his first reception on the year. And on 3rd and 1, he leaves the field. Be ready for a shot in this region. They will go for it on 4th and 1, so don't be surprised if they try to throw one deep here.
Daly will look to carry it himself. First down and more. Inside the 35, down to the 34. 6 yards on the carry. Army efficient on their first offensive drive of the day so far.
And this is what they do. They run the football. They work the clock. They possessed the ball for 44 minutes last week. And they're already having that clock tick down under 9 minutes.
Against the very good UT San Antonio team last week on the road. 44 minutes possession. No turnovers, no penalties in that game.
Nope.
Daly to throw. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it. That's a dangerous pass and falls incomplete. Marlowe Wax put the pressure on Daly and forced an errant throw.
Yeah, if there's a key player to this team, it's going to be number 2. Watch Marlowe Wax. He has the running back man-to-man. When the running back blocks, he turns it into a pressure. Marlowe Wax is a future NFL player for this Syracuse Orange team, and this middle of the Syracuse Orange defense is going to be so big. Marlowe Wax, Kayvon Darton, number 0 in the middle. Those 2 guys have got to play a huge role in stopping this Army offense.
Jacoby Buchanan back in. Army behind the chains a bit here. 2nd down and 10. The give to Buchanan. Look at the push on that offensive line and Buchanan.
Man.
Picks up 6 or 7, and that was just moving the pile.
And yeah, I mean, this offensive line, just the wave. Watch this wave of white just clear out. Any blue jersey, that was a dominant impression by this O-line. And 3rd and 3, they got everybody in tight again in this formation.
Again, the give to Buchanan. Just muscling his way to that yard to gain. I think he's got it. Give him 4, and they'll move the chains.
Well, you know what they're going to do. Now, how do you stop it? I mean, that's the biggest question. And you see Monk, like, they're not cut blocking anymore. They're just driving off the ball. And he said, talking to him and talking to Drew Thatcher, he said, hey, it was actually a learning curve. We thought the running block was going to be super easy and come naturally. There's a good shot of Drew Thatcher. But it's interesting. They have to hold their blocks a little longer because the now run is coming out of the shotgun. Doesn't get on them as fast, but they're doing a great job. 14th
play of this drive. It has taken the entire first quarter so far, and Markel Johnson almost broke it for 6. Kayvon Darton saved a touchdown on that shoestring tackle.
Yeah, and this is the new wrinkle, right? They're going to bring guys back across the football for the seal block. Not only are they going to hit you straight up the middle, but they're going to come with the zone, the swap zone, and they're going to mess with the linebacker's eyes. This is all a part of this multifaceted offense. They're not just one-dimensional anymore.
Gain of 6 on first down. Marshall in motion. Jet sweep. inside the 10, right down to the 10. First down and goal for Army.
Chris, if you want to take the wind out of the sails of a team at home, get the ball first and march it down on the ground. I mean, that's exactly what Army's doing. And you see the defensive linemen for Syracuse, hands on their hips, kind of thinking to themselves, okay, now what, how can we stop this?
Now real estate becomes tougher to come by. And it looks like Army might get 5 yards closer.
Offside. Defense number 0. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Darden was a little over anxious. He'll come to the sideline. First and goal from the 5.
Yeah, Kevon Darden, he's been a phenomenal player. He was a walk-on, earned a scholarship last August. He's been great in that middle of the defense. And we talked to Dino Babers about Darden and this matchup, especially with this running offense, because he needs to be powerful. He needs to set that line of scrimmage, set the tone in the middle.
Buchanan, the lead blocker. Daly to the end zone, touchdown.
Well, we've seen Army do it against UTSA last week. We said, hey, this is a Syracuse defense that's ranked 14th in the country in terms of rush defense. Will they be able to do it against the Orange? The answer so far today has been yes.
That one may be coming back.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
If you remember, every score is reviewed. Every play is technically reviewed. And if you look at this one from Daly, Mark, I think his knee was down as the ball was right outside of the goal line. You can see him on the far side. You can see the ball. Now, there's the knee down right there.
Yeah, it looks like short.
Yeah.
Yep, short.
That ball is going to be just shy of the goal line, I believe, when Rimas Kozica, that's our replay official, takes a look at it. Looks like that left knee right there is down, and the ball is going to be at about the 1 foot line.
I think you're right, Chris. Well, they've shown they can pick up a couple inches.
This may just get this opening drive up to 10 minutes in length.
After further review, the runner was down with the ball short of the goal line. Second down.
Second down from the 1 foot line. Bryson Daly in this Army offense will come back on the field and try and finish off the drive on this play. Daly, 13 in white, Mark. You mentioned it. Coaches see him as more of a linebacker playing quarterback than a lot of the small, shifty, quick guys they've had at Army over the last few years.
Yeah, and it works out. They love running between the tackles, and he's another option.
He's got Buchanan behind him. Gives it to Buchanan, and he powers his way in.
It's just a force. This offensive line for Army has just manhandled the defensive front of Syracuse. Look at this push. That left side of the line, and we're talking O-line, but that includes the tight ends. David Crossan and Joshua Langenfelter, they are monsters in the run game, helping drive that downfield.
Quinn Moretsky with the point after try. The Army Black Knights have invaded Syracuse, and they're up 7-0 early.
And Garrett Shrader, much improved passing through the air, right? He has that ability, but his dominance is his legs on the ground. And he's taller in stature, but he also runs like a linebacker. He'll put you on the ground.
And they want to move quickly. Syracuse is not going to waste a whole lot of time in between snaps, as we're already seeing. 2 runs up the middle by Shrader, and it's a 3rd down and 3 coming up.
And Chris, there's one thing about going fast, but your defense just was on the field for 10 minutes. And if you do not convert this here, your defense is going right back on the field, dog tired.
Right, if there's a big 3rd down conversion in the first quarter, this is it.
Yep.
Shrader to throw. And out, that's going to be almost intercepted. I thought Cameron Jones was going to squeeze it and take it home. And a 3 and out is exactly what this Army defense is forced.
Yo, man, I mean, telegraphed the ball. Was staring down his wide receiver the whole time, and that should have been a pick 6 from Cam Jones. And like we mentioned, Chris, 3 and out. I mean, 40% of UTSA's drives last week were 3 and outs. And Army's defense is here to play, and getting the ball back to their offense, hey, they might take another 10 minutes off the clock.
Jack Stonehouse gets off a good kick. Cam Jones is going to try to return it from his 16, but isn't going to get anywhere. Good special teams from Elijah Clark in bringing down Jones. Army back on offense when we come back, up 7 early.
Syracuse defense, guys, is going to be tested, their endurance in particular. But this offseason, they worked with new defensive coordinator Rocky Long. They did extra conditioning starting this offseason. It was cornerback Isaiah Johnson telling me they did an extra 10 minutes even after practice was over to be able to train for games like this. Even looking at last week's game against UTSA, that defense was out there in big moments, having to stop on big plays. Bark, as a linebacker yourself, I want your opinion. How hard is it to have to go back out there when you barely sat down?
It's hard, but you also got to go make plays, right? I think that you want to get back there after like an embarrassing drive, honestly, on the defensive side. You want to go back out there and be like, all right, give me another chance. So, I think you're absolutely right. Rocky Long hopes his guys aren't sucking wind yet. Way too early in the game for that, but they also have to make a play.
Time of possession keeps up like this, they're going to wish they had Frank Shorter helping them out in the offseason in terms of endurance.
Yeah, and look at all these tight ends and tackles over here. They've just been washing down the defensive ends.
Give to Johnson. Picks up about 3 more. Isaiah Johnson on the stop, so we had a big 3rd down for Syracuse on the offensive end. This is a huge 3rd down for their defense to get off the field.
Yeah, it certainly is, and they bring in Isaiah Alston. Mr. Catch Anything. 6'4", 195-pound wide receiver. You see him, number 11 right there at the front of this point.
3rd down and 4. Daly comes up to the line of scrimmage to change the play. 5 seconds on the play clock. They don't get it off. They might get a timeout. We do. Army called timeout.
Charge timeout. Army, their first of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Coach Monken just in the nick of time. Wanted to get the timeout there. Reminding Bryson Daly that how to get the play called if you're going to change it in time to get the ball snapped before the play clock runs out.
Yeah, and Jeff Monken, he was telling Bryson Daly, like, remember where the play clock is. I mean, it's in a different position in this dome than a lot of other stadiums. It's not next to the scoreboard where you see it a lot of times. So it's a vision adjustment for the quarterback. Always have to know where that is in each game because it's different in every stadium.
Now the big back, Jacoby Buchanan, comes in along with Zach Bundell. They'll flank Daly.
Now Alston's out of the game. Spec run.
Daly sends Mundell in motion. Now he comes back. Daly will keep it. Trying to find that yard to gain. He's going to be shy. Picks up maybe 2 at most. Syracuse looks like they've done what they had to do on defense, forcing a punt.
Yeah, they did, and it should be a punt situation. Daly wants to go for it, but on 4th and 2 in their own territory, you punt the ball away, and it's a good choice, and really good job by the defense. You have a drive where you feel like you can't stop anyone, and then you come back out and force a 3 and out and give your ball back to Garrett Shrader, where hopefully he can get in a rhythm.
Speedster to Marcus Adams back to receive this punt. Cooper Allen lets it fly. That's a good kick. Adams is going to call fair catch and comes up to make it at the 30. 45 yards on the punt. Nothing on the return. And once again, we will see Shrader and the Syracuse offense in need of, if nothing else, a couple of first downs just to keep that defense on the sideline and get them a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, it was interesting. We talked about Army's defense last week, and Nate Woody, their defensive coordinator, he said, a lot of times we come to the sideline after 3 and outs and there's no adjustments to make. It's like, keep doing what you're doing. No adjustments yet for this Army defense, and Syracuse has to put them in tough positions. You got to spread the ball. You have height matchups on the outside to get the ball to the wide receivers.
First carry of the day for LeQuint Allen. And he gets 8 yards, almost 9. And LeQuint Allen is a player that Dino Babers spoke glowingly about. He was very reticent. He was like, careful. I don't know if I should do this, but I'm going to say he's a smaller Marcus Allen. Not that he's like Marcus Allen yet, but he's a complete back like Marcus Allen was.
He definitely is a complete back.
Shrader on the outside. That's Adams. Makes the catch, and he picks up a first down.
Yeah, LeQuint Allen, he's just been such a versatile back in this backfield. He's only a true sophomore, and with Sean Tucker in the backfield last year, he was in that kind of backup duty. But now it's his team, and he's back there, and he can catch the ball in the backfield. He can run the ball in the middle and the outside. He's a great player.
Fake to Allen. Receiver wide open on the flat. That's Damien Alford. The Canadian takes it forward for another first down. This is when Syracuse gets into a rhythm very quickly.
They do, and they'll follow up big plays with fast to the line of scrimmage and let's go for another big play.
Shrader to throw to the outside. It's Hatcher. So he's spreading it out to his receivers. It's Hatcher. It's Alford. It's DeMarcus Adams.
And you see the spread look, right? Garrett Shrader is throwing the ball sideline to sideline, making the defensive front for Army run. They're going to keep running left, right, and that's when you can hit with LeQuint Allen up the gut as you spread out this defense and make it softer in the box.
2nd down and 7. Shrader again, the fake to Allen. Receiver wide open. Couple of moves by Donovan Brown. That's what Donovan Brown does best. He's not going to...
6'5" at wide receiver.
Give to Allen. Patiently looking for a hole, can't find one. Was able to pick up about 3 very hard-earned yards.
Sounds good.
They have all 5 eligible receivers towards the bottom of your screen. No one's up top.
Shrader looking to throw. Could be a double pass. Instead, it's Allen. Picked up about 3. That play looked like it might go further, but good job by the Army defense to swarm over Allen.
Yeah, and Caleb Fortner, watch number 53. He understands the formation. He moves on out and does a great job of block destruction and makes the play. That is a great play by that linebacker.
3rd down and 5. Shrader looking to throw. Now pressure comes from the edge. They'll get him.
There he is again. Caleb Fortner. What a play. Had 6 tackles last week. And you see him, he's just working on Chris Belch. And that's a fantastic move, turning the corner and getting Shrader down. Wow. Good series of plays by him.
Brady Denneberg will come and try a 46-yard field goal. Denneberg voted one of the team captains of the Syracuse team. And he splits the uprights, no problem. More than just a positive drive. I mean, points on the board, and you give your defense a rest.
Yeah, I mean, those are good things, but you know what? They're not 7 points. And, good job. Army prides themselves on the red zone defense, and it was a good job standing up. And this is not something that Dino Babers teams are used to. I mean, they are a fast start team. They outscore their opponents in the first quarter, first half, almost every time out. I mean, in the last year, they outscored their opponents 92-57 in the first quarter, and there was only 3 games last year where they trailed at all in the first quarter.
Yeah, well, they hadn't trailed yet this year when you think about it. That Army touchdown, first points they've allowed all season.
Yes.
In the first quarter so far, so not a position they're used to being in.
Still is a big play potential offense. I mean, they can throw the ball deep. They get these big 10-plus yard plays, 20-plus yard plays, so they need to stay consistent, but good job by Army defensively holding them.
All right, we're just getting started today on the ACC Network. Coming up next, Boston College, after pushing Florida State to the limit last week, taking on Coach Brom in Louisville. And then tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, North Carolina at Pitt. Both games also available on the ESPN app. Last time North Carolina went to Pitt, it was an overtime barn burner a couple of years ago. Carolina came from way back, and Pitt won it in overtime. So a couple of exciting games still to come today on the ACC Network. We've got one here between Army and Syracuse. First time in 27 years these two teams, separated by about a 3.5-hour drive in upstate New York, have met. And they're giving us a good one. Army running it on the right side. Udo again. Kanye Udo is a player we haven't really seen much from Army the first 3 games of the year, but getting some run today.
Yeah, he's a true freshman. He went to their prep school last year, and so he knows the system a little bit. But good to see him get some clock. Really good play by Dennis Jacquez on the last one, getting him down for a short gain.
Short in motion. Daly looking to throw deep. Receiver broke off the route. He's trying to hit Casey Reynolds, who broke off the route, and the play goes harmlessly incomplete, but we've got a flag in the backfield. Initial indications holding against Army.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Tim Hedgepeth, our referee today. David Hoyt, left tackle, guilty party. Let's see if we can see it here.
There he goes, yeah. Dragging down Derek McDonald, the linebacker who came on the blitz, and that was a zero pressure, meaning no safety deep for Syracuse. Good job being aggressive on their blitz.
Second down and about 19. Not exactly in Army's wheelhouse. And in trouble here. Fumble the football! Army fell on it at the 10. Jackson Filipowicz was able to recover the fumble, and Dennis Jacquez forced it. Army very fortunate to be able to come up with that football.
Ooh, watch Jacquez, really good job of squeezing down, and McDonald makes the play. He's not going to get the stat, but staying outside and keeping his leverage forced him back in to take the big hit from the defensive lineman. And on third down
at 25,
you've got to believe Rocky Long is going to send pressure. This 3-3-5 defense is meant to confuse the offense with pressure from everywhere. Look for it here.
Got McDonald on the bottom of your screen, looking to come off the edge. Daly forced out. He's going to have to make a lot on his own. He got what he could, but nowhere near where he needed to get. And it looks like Syracuse may have forced their second consecutive 3-and-out. Tip your cap to this defense after being manhandled in the opening drive of the game by Army. These last 2 drives, Syracuse defense, they've stepped up.
Yeah, they have, and they needed to, right? Because they needed to build that confidence among themselves. I don't think it's lacking at all, but at that first drive, you start to think, I wonder what this is all about. And that penalty, it's a big aid, but then getting that negative yardage sack, I mean, that's hard to overcome.
Another good punt by Cooper Allen. Trevor Pena makes the catch at his 31, spins away from the first tackler. Still on his feet, spinning near midfield. Flag down behind the play. as Pena was forced out at his own 45. Syracuse fans happy to see Trevor Pena, who's been banged up, number 2 in blue, now back out there.
What a return by Pena.
Check the marker. It was away from where Pena caught the ball and away from the action. Right near midfield there, you see the officials talking it over.
During the return, holding, receiving team number 11, 10-yard penalty, first down, Syracuse, timeout.
Fans are not happy about that inside the dome. It'll negate a beautiful return from Trevor Pena. Still, Syracuse with the ball, trailing 7-3 here in the second.
It's bow time.
Turned by Trevor Pena. Crowd here upset. They thought we got either a late hit or a horse collar mark.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like it was. Watch number 3 come in here and get that hand inside the jersey and yank him down. That sideline was all over it.
And I think you said it right. It was the yank on that horse collar that ultimately probably should have warranted a flag, but officials didn't see it. They did see the hold on the return. So bottom line is 1st and 10 from the 35. Allen met at the line of scrimmage and driven back.
Darius Richardson, big number 96. Really fancy little move on the inside. Good tackle. Watch 96 right over the center. Just threw John Ray Reed away in a big play.
Again, Allen. This time a little bit more room. Picks up 4. It'll bring up 3rd and 5. Cam Jones coming from his cornerback spot to make the tackle. A lot of 3rd downs in this game. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah.
I feel like both teams have had a lot of 3rd downs to try to convert.
Yes, they have.
Allen in motion, now empty backfield.
Army's outmatched to the bottom of the screen. There are no defenders covering 3 wide receivers.
Shrader, let's see if he looks that way. Instead, he looks to the left, wants to go downfield. Just overshoots Murray Hatcher. I feel like Hatcher may have slowed up a little bit, Mark, on that route.
Yeah, and it's a miss, right? A miss. Watch this right here. You get right here, your best wide receiver working on a linebacker, and right here, there's no one.
Wow.
That's a wide open receiver, and that was an unfortunate miss by Garrett Shrader.
You think we'll see that again?
I mean, if you don't fix it, they're coming back to it.
Good kick by Stonehouse. Bounces inside the 10. Eventually killed dead at the 15. 46-yard kick from Stonehouse. Army back with it when we come back. Not on the field at the present time as Army, after 2 straight 3-and-outs forced by this Syracuse defense, looking to move the chains for the first time in a while. First down, Daly picks up 5.
Marlo Wax. It's so funny talking to his teammates pregame and going around, hey, we got a mic on me. What do you want to say to everybody? Shouting out Grandma. Good job. I love shouting out Grandma. Prayers to Grandma.
Home cooked meal from Mom, no question about it.
Hopefully she feels better.
I can use a little bit of that myself. Everybody, the demeanor always changes when they find out they got someone's mic'd up or they're on camera. Syracuse much stiffer defensively in the middle of that offensive line where Army got such a great push in that first drive of the game. Mark, have you seen any adjustments, or is it just, hey, we got to bow up?
Well, they're kind of slanting the gaps, and it looks like that defensive front, they're picking gaps and they're going in these gaps, right? And if they can get some penetration up front with those slants, it kind of stalls some of those runs. And look for Army eventually to continue to wipe them down. That's what they were so good at, is wiping down from the tight end side. So watch this bottom side of your screen if that's where they go.
Daly's going to run it himself. Looked like he tripped on his own feet. May have had enough of a hold to get that first down, but he tripped before he got to the mark.
Yeah, and they want to go for it here so badly. Let's see what Monken does.
I mean, from the 24.
Hey, you bring in big back, right? Jacoby Buchanan. I don't know if I've watched Lots of film on these guys. I have not seen a time where Jacoby Buchanan has been knocked backwards, and he's in the game right now. They are going to ride their big back.
They drew him offside in the first drive, and they don't even try that here, though. Buchanan's going to get the first down. I mean, you don't see teams going for it in a 7-3 game from their own 24 very often at all, if ever, in the second quarter.
And you see, that's the wipe down. That's the wash down on that left-hand side where those tight ends, watch them, 88, 85, just driving them downhill. And that requires safeties and corners to come up and make a tackle on a 260-pound running back. It doesn't even look like he's breathing hard.
Drew Thatcher, offensive coordinator, said 85 David Crossan invites contact. He looks for it, and he looked for it on that play. Darton active as always, number 0 in blue on the tackle on first down. Daly was only able to gain less than a yard.
Yeah, you talk about the tight ends, and Crossan, yeah, invites contact, but 88, Joshua Lingenfelter, an opposing coach came up to Jeff Monk and he said, "Who's 88? I need to buy that dude a beer. He is the toughest football player I've ever seen." And they are blocking like that out there today.
They gave Daly a couple, so second down and 8. Syracuse showing a little pressure on the edge. Oh, big hit. Anwar Sparrow and Jaden Gould. Gould coming up from his safety spot, the redshirt freshman from Somerset, New Jersey, transfer from Nebraska.
Yeah, good job staying behind the play and filling. I mean, he got a little bit of that too. Listen to this. Boom. You can almost hear that contact. Big third down. Already gone for it on fourth once.
It's 3rd and 6. Buchanan, the big back, in there with Markel Johnson, who's no slouch himself at 5'8", 200. Number 27 in white. Fake to Buchanan. Daly's going to keep it and delivers a hit.
Gosh! Yo!
Still on his feet, but he's going to be shy of the yard marker to gain. What a collision.
Oh, man. We got to see that again. I don't know if I've seen a hit like that from a quarterback in my life. He just ran over the safety. Here it is. Bam!
Oh. Wow, Smurf Greenwood.
Wow.
I give Smurf credit for putting his head into that action, but Bryson Daly.
Ooh, you don't want none of that.
Might get it again because it's 4th and 1, and Army, that offense is still out there on the field.
A hit being delivered from the quarterback. Because
he's not in there either on this 4th down.
He's not, and you'll have to keep an eye on that.
Dwayne Coleman, yeah.
Dwayne Coleman in there and big back Buchanan.
The give is to Buchanan. He just muscles his way forward. That's 4 yards from 33. Now, Bryson Daly is back in there.
Chris, we're in the booth next to the radio guys for Syracuse, and they just threw their hands up after that run like, what are they supposed to do? Man.
255 pounds downhill.
Man, Daly, one tough cookie.
Short in the backfield, now he's in motion. Daly to throw. Way too high for Isaiah Alston. Alston's 6'4", he needed to be 7'4" to bring that one down.
Yeah, really good scheme by Army offensively. And watch, they know they're man-to-man, so they're going to bring out here and then follow it back in behind with their best receiver, Isaiah Alston. And man, that's open. They're going to come back to that play eventually. That's going to be that backside linebacker has to have an awareness. They call it a beeline route, where the wide receiver beelines it right to that far hash.
Udo and Buchanan now in the backfield, 2nd and 10. They give to Udo. Lots of room through the middle. Mark it off at 8 yards. Second and short near midfield. We haven't seen Army really go up top and try a deep ball on these 3rd and shorts because you know they want to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you know you want to, and you look for personnel a lot of times too. Who's in the game? And with Isaiah Alston out, their best receiver, I would assume they would stick to the run here.
Short in motion. The give to Udo. And he's going to get there. First down right at midfield. Army's first drive took almost 10 minutes off the clock. They scored. Then 2 3-and-outs. And now this drive is a little more reminiscent of that first drive. Slow grind down the field.
It really is. And this is a great camera angle. Watch this line. Who wins this line of scrimmage? See which defensive line or offensive line gets a push here.
Fake to Johnson. Quarterback keeps 10 yards, 15 yards downfield. Leon Lowry made the stop, but it wasn't until Daly picked up 15 more on the ground.
Yeah, and it was that left side of the offensive line along with these tight ends. It's just down, and they're able to wash out that left side of the defensive line. Good job by 78. As well as Shane Buckingham. He's back from injury, holding up on that defensive end.
Daly to give inside. Markel Johnson gets maybe a yard. Marlowe Wax with the stop inside.
Well, this is another one of those long drives, Chris. It's really either been 3-and-outs or really long drives for Army.
Unlike that first drive, they haven't done exceptionally well on first down on this drive. I feel like they've been second and longer, but they've been able to convert, and they've used 4 downs a couple of times to do it. Daly, nowhere to go. Makes something out of nothing, though. Derek McDonald finally made the stop, but that's 4 more yards when he looked like he was dead to rights in the backfield. Timeout by Syracuse.
Syracuse, their first of the half. Media timeout.
Rocky Long and company want to talk things over and maybe just catch their breath. Army on top. Primetime game on the ACC network. 3rd and 5 for Army, looking to keep this drive alive with Jacoby Buchanan, the big back, and Bryson Daly. Daly will keep Buchanan with the lead block. Daly has the first down, again lowers his shoulder to pick up 9 yards.
Man, you got to watch out when number 13 is coming downhill. What, you talk about running behind your pads. This is exactly what that is. You got your pads leading the way, and
Jason Simmons.
I mean, you catch that off balance. That is a problem. Man.
As I was watching the UTSA game last week, the punishment that Bryson Daly takes throughout the game, here he's going to take some more. Multiply that times 12, and looking at this team, probably 13 games this season.
Yep. And yeah, you know, he's that guy. He's built for this. He trains for this, and this is his game, right? He wouldn't be an effective quarterback if he didn't play to his strengths, and these are his strengths.
Daly to throw.
Oh, that's
the corner of the end zone. A player fell down and no flag.
That's got to be that's uncalled. But Justin Barron just almost decapitated the wide receiver out on his route.
That was Noah Short. Watch 15 in white.
Yeah, watch this. Number 15 running up the field, breaking the corner, and the ball's in the air. That could not be more clear pass interference. But you know Jeff Monken, he'd say, excuses.
Right.
That's just an excuse.
The only thing that matters is it's 3rd and 9. Daly rolls out. Syracuse putting the pressure on to the end zone. Overshoots his man, Noah Short. Well, it's 4th and 9. And in this instance, you got to think that Monken will trot out Quinn Moretsky to try and put 3 more on the board, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, they really went back to the same pass play, that inside corner route. That time it was played well by Justin Barron. That captain of the defense got away with one on second down.
Goretzky, the senior from Honolulu. From 38. It's up, and it's good. With 29 seconds left to play in the first half, Army extends their lead back to 7.
That really is a good stand by the defense. And now, you know, it's Garrett Shrader, right? He's been sitting on the sideline for past 9 minutes. And when you start to feel like you're getting a little bit of a flow on offense and then have to sit and cool down, it's hard to pick it back up. Hopefully he's drinking his Shraderade over there, getting ready to come back out.
Second 9-minute drive of the game for Army. This one, unlike the first, just 3 points on the board. But 19 plays on that last drive. Coach Monken, a good look at him. You mentioned in the open how he signed that contract extension now. It's been 10 years and 10 very fruitful years in West Point. And you know, we were talking to him and I said, Coach, you've had success here at West Point, a couple of 10-win seasons, all the Commander-in-Chief trophies. You can coach anywhere. And he says, I like coaching at Army because I feel a sense of responsibility in terms of the men that I'm coaching and teaching and what they're going to do when they leave my clutches and go out there to lead this country.
Yeah, I mean, you know, think about that responsibility, right? You are leading 100 men who are then going to lead our armed forces. I mean, you're leading the ultimate leaders, and you know, he understands that. And I think that, you know, we talked to him about the schedule that his players have to go through. A lot of them are taking 21 hours of school rather than, you know, 12, which is required at other places. You know, they have 5:30 wake up every day. They have room inspections every morning. They have to make sure they're shaven, their shoes are polished. I mean, all the things that you think about it, an Army cadet has to do. These players have to do those things. And then on 2 hours of sleep, they got to go and practice football. I mean, these are some hard, well-coached men.
Shrader, with just a handful of seconds to work with, has a receiver at midfield, absorbs the hit, and Damien Alford brings it in.
That's going to be a mismatch all day. Damien Alford at 6'6", he's going to have the height advantage on a lot of these defensive backs for Army.
Under 20 seconds, Syracuse has 2 timeouts. Alford makes the catch, but he's out of bounds.
Oh, that was close.
I mentioned the Cuse, they've got 2 timeouts, so that 15 seconds, they can use the entire field. But a lot of time ran off the clock there in between those 2 plays. A lot of time for Syracuse especially. Yeah. But with those 2 timeouts, Dino now certainly doesn't want to leave him in his pocket. Shrader to throw. Army brings just 4, so he's got plenty of time. Now the pocket collapses and he's flushed. Downfield, it's intercepted. That's Cam Jones.
Oh, he's going to go.
Flag down on the play. Jones is brought down at the 27 with no time left in the first half, but let's check the marker.
It's going to be a holding on the offense.
The half is not over.
Man, this is a fun one.
2 long scoring drives for Army and 2 3-and-outs sandwiched in the middle. Tally with the kick. It'll be a touchback for Syracuse. Sherry Burris is the 3rd member of our crew. What's going on, Sherry?
Well, Coach Monken saying despite having a 1-score lead, he doesn't really feel like his team played dominant in the first half. Now, he does like the way they came out and played. They started fast, but he thought that they stalled as the game went on, resulting in just a field goal to end. Twice, he mentioned he really is upset that they didn't secure that interception in the first quarter to get a little breathing room for his team. So as they look to stay ahead here in the second half, kicking the ball to Syracuse, they need to score touchdowns, not field goals, Chris.
Yeah, Cam Jones dropped that interception. That was almost a surefire pick 6 in the first quarter. That would have added to the lead. Shrader with an easy out to Alford. Give him 5 yards. Maybe this is what Shrader needs right here to complete some easy passes to get into a little bit of a rhythm. Just one drive in that first half where he was in any kind of a rhythm.
Yeah, and he missed a couple open receivers in the first half. A lot of short passes. I'd love to see them throw the ball downfield more because nothing has been successful on the ground for them. You see LeQuint Allen just getting swallowed by the white jerseys. And, you know, we've seen those kind of lateral throws, but haven't been able to connect downfield very much at all.
LeQuint has just 16 yards on just 4 carries. Syracuse had just 17 plays in that entire first half. Now on 3rd down, complete over the middle. That's going to move the sticks. And it's Donovan Brown.
Really good job and patience by Garrett Shrader. Donovan Brown is going to come right in behind the linebacker. And watch Garrett Shrader. He looks to the side, moves the linebacker with his eyes, and then the patience to throw right in behind him. That's what I'm talking about, down the field throws.
Shrader so dangerous here. Give him 14 and another first down.
Ah, there he is. It's only a matter of time before the beard gets loose. Shrader looks in a rhythm.
And as is so often the case, they want to go quickly. The fake to Allen. It's Brown, short gain before Jabari Moore makes the stop. Six on first down. Allen met at the line of scrimmage and driven back.
Austin Hill, the defensive lineman, just stopped LeQuint Allen in his tracks. Look at number 52 on the left side of your screen, taking on the double team, and man.
3rd down and 4. Allen. Gonna be short. Leo Lowen on the stop. One of the leaders of this Black Knight defense, and it's 4th and 1.
Oh, and offense is begging to stay on the field. You bring in your big boys, Maximilian Mang at tight end.
The Berlin Bear, 81 in blue.
I don't think he got it.
Let's check the spot. The Army sideline certainly thinks he didn't make it. And he didn't.
Wow, what a stop. Well, Syracuse started with some momentum, and then look at the defensive front for Army stopping Syracuse in the tracks. Army will have the ball when we come back.
He'll score easily.
Let's take a look at that last 4th down play. We got the defensive lineman tunneling, keeping the linebackers clean, and then a great job of scraping over the top and making a play on the football. That is picture-perfect defense.
Army back with the football. Daly on the carry. Give him 2 yards before Elijah Clark brings him down.
And Chris, you know, it's beating Syracuse's offense at what they do best, right? I mean, similarly to Army, I mean, 4th and 1 should be bread and butter for this Syracuse offense. They're so powerful up front. A lot of credit to Army's defense and what Nate Woody has them doing.
You saw the drive summary in the first half for Army. 2 long drives and 2 3-and-outs in the middle. Udo strung out. Forced out by Clark, who's having a heck of a game from that safety spot.
Really good job up front by the defensive line. This time not getting collapsed and forcing the ball to bubble outside, where Cinco was able to make a big play. And 3rd down and 9. The only 3rd down and long we've seen before was after the sack in the first half, and Syracuse got off the field. Watch the top of your screen. Isaiah Alston all the way split out wide.
Daly's going to keep it. Doesn't get much. 0 on the tackle, Darton. Coach Baber says, I just called him 0 from now on. And he's going to force another punt.
Good stand. Man, this is such a back and forth game, and you see momentum swinging, and what an opportunity for Army to take the momentum back after their stop. But Syracuse shuts them right down.
Allen with an end-over-end kick. Pena's not going to be able to return it. It bounces straight sideways. And Syracuse with the football once again, trailing by 7.
Jersey Mike's freshly slices your sub right in front of you. It has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice. Oh, yeah. The rhythm.
Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Always take the scenic route. It's that place where stillness brims with possibility. Fill your world with craft. Peter Millar.
This is Fubo TV. It's a better way to watch live news, shows, and sports without cable. Watch multiple games at once with Multiview. Try free at FuboTV.com.
When I started college, so many people warned me about credit cards. They just seemed really scary. When I needed a car, I realized that I needed to build credit. So I got the Chime Credit Builder card because I could safely build credit without being afraid of fees or interest. And there was no credit check. My score went up over 60 points and I bought my first car. As a busy college student, having a car is an absolute must. I feel like I could do anything. My next goal, a 700 credit score. Join me at Chime.com.
At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Introducing 24/7 LiveGuard protection, only from SimpliSafe. This exclusive technology allows SimpliSafe agents to help stop crime in real time by speaking through the new Smart Alarm indoor camera.
Stop. This is SimpliSafe. Police are on their way.
For instant intruder deterrence and faster police response.
Police have arrived. Your home is safe.
Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe.
5 years, and some continue that much longer. And to remember that about these men on the field today, my hats are off to them, and I salute them for their service.
Shrader looking to go up top. Trying to find Alford. Uses that radius to bring it down. He was working on Cam Jones, and a big gain for the Orange.
We've been wondering when they were going to pull the trigger. When do you go up top and take advantage of this size mismatch? Well, the answer was now. Great job coming down with the football by Alford, staying in bounds, and just like that, Garrett Shrader has his team in striking position.
Army is able to substitute out, which they do, much to the chagrin of the crowd here that wanted to see the Orange go quickly. They give to Allen. He just has not had a whole lot of room to run today. Low and again on a tackle, 31 in white.
Yeah, LeQuint Allen. You see Allen Jr. on his back, honoring his father, who was senior, who unfortunately died in a shooting this past year. Good to see him representing his father.
Shrader again to throw. Alford's wide open. Makes the catch inside the 15.
Late rotation by the safety over top. And Shrader found his man. You see the velocity on that football. And that's only caught because of his height. Good job of understanding the coverage by Garrett Shrader and zipping it out to his wide open wide receiver.
Again, Army subbing to try and slow this Orange locomotive down. Allen, straight up the middle, he'll score.
Well, there is LeQuint Allen Jr. wearing number 1 for a reason. Dino Baber doesn't give that out to anyone. He is a leader of this team. And just a phenomenal run. Watch the blocking. The pullers get up around, get on the linebackers, and LeQuint Allen, tough to bring down.
66 yards on just 4 plays, and 1:44 off the clock. Denneberg for the try, but whistles blow it dead before. Lots of flags. Quite the conference from our officiating crew for PAT.
False start. Offense number 99. 5-yard penalty. It's still the try down.
All right, Tim Hedgepeth with the explanation. Syracuse will move back 5 yards and try once again. There's a good look at LeQuint Allen. 6th rushing touchdown on the season. Putting the Qs in a spot where they're just this PAT away from tying it up. And the former high school quarterback, Brady Denneberg, ties things up with the PAT. 10-10. Syracuse.
Stick to their game plan. Been able to pick up 3 yards in a cloud of dust down the field.
Sherry Burns has more on LeQuint.
Chris, LeQuint Allen Jr. is the rare one. You have to go back years on a Dino Babers roster to find single-digit #1. It's the rarest of them all. And asking Coach this week, I asked him, why don't you give out #1? Well, he said in recruiting, the hot shots out there believe they should be #1, but they want a team full of players who don't just think about themselves. They want a guy who is team first. Every once in a while, a player emerges to garner that attention, and that is Allen Jr. None of his teammates complained to Coach when he got assigned that number. As we saw here after that last touchdown, his teammates continuing to give him a lot of love.
Daly hands it off to Johnson. Tough sledding as he's able to muscle forward for maybe 2.
Yeah, and you talk about his character. I mean, this is a guy who's we have a flag thrown late.
It's a guy who can't believe that they're going to get a late hit call on somebody.
I know.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 4, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's Caleb Okechukwu.
Let's see.
Can't see anything right there.
There you go. Number 4, just that extra shove.
I guess. I feel like you see that about a half dozen times in a game all the time, but.
Yeah, well, they called him. But getting back to Allen, I mean, the type of player he is, right? He won $1,000 for being the New Jersey Gatorade Player of the Year, and he decided, I'm going to donate it to the Millville Youth Football League. He wanted to give back to his community. He runs a camp in the offseason, a cheer/football camp for his hometown. I mean, he is a man of service, and he obviously is a great football player, and that right there was a great football play by the leader of this Orange defense, Marlo Wax. Good read to see the puller and his fit right in the hole. Good tackle. There you go.
Wax showing a little pressure up the middle. Can't make a man miss as Justin Barron from that rover spot came up, one of the captains of this team, to make the tackle on Marshall, who's down on the play.
Official timeout for an injury.
Tyjon Marshall was the receiver. What do you think here? Maybe twisted ankle?
Yeah, Justin Barron, kind of that gator tackle where you grab around the legs, but he gave a little bit of an extra twist at the end. Just watch right at the end of this play, right there. That almost looks unintentional, but let's hope he's all right.
Marshall's being attended to by the staff, and that's exactly what they're looking at, that right leg. I don't know what Dino's saying in the foreground there with the officials.
He's lobbying.
Using the time wisely.
Yeah, hey, you know, taking this time to get a word in with the officials. Hey, watch this, watch that. Check my guy out here. Here's a hold. Here, coaches have this whole chess game they got to play, and Dino Babers is a master at it.
Tim Hedgepeth on the far side, our referee today in the white hat, explaining the situation to Dino.
Yeah, it looks like he's talking back about Caleb Okachukwu's personal foul, late hit penalty.
As again, we continue to look at John Marshall, and the staff is looking at that right leg. And Marshall can't put any weight on it. He's going to be helped off.
That's a shame. John Marshall playing that slot position for them. Him and Noah Short kind of alternate back and forth.
So the senior from Baltimore will be helped off the field. They will continue to evaluate him. There's Justin Barron, who made the tackle, forcing a 3rd down and 8. So Army's got to come out of this injury timeout behind the chains. All the momentum really on Syracuse side right now.
Yeah, and this is 4-down territory if they get close. Anywhere near this 50-yard mark, if you make this 4th and 1, Army's going to go for it. So Syracuse defensively, it's not, hey, let's hold them at that 1st down markers. We can't give up 5 here. And they don't.
The give to Reed, he falls forward, picks up about 2 maybe, but Marlowe Wax again in on the stop, and that won't be anywhere near the yard to gain.
A lot of credit to this defense. Good job by Wax getting in there, but Rocky Long and his ability to make adjustments has been monumental in this game, and having a leader like Marlowe Wax at the middle of that defense allows him to do that. Really good stand.
Cooper Allen once again set to punt. Pena with his heels on his own 10-yard line. Good kick from Allen. Pena settles up underneath it, gonna return it, but won't get far. As a matter of fact, he stopped right in his tracks after a 46-yard punt. Nothing on the return, and Syracuse will take over from their own 9. Coming up later, 6:30 Eastern, the ACC Huddle Crew going to have breakdowns of the afternoon games and get you ready for North Carolina and Pitt kicking off tonight at 8 o'clock. Then following the conclusion of that game, a full post-game show to wrap it all up from Steel City. It's the ACC Network and on the ESPN app. Got a good one going on in Death Valley right now, Florida State and Clemson. They'll have full breakdown and highlights of that game, as well as the game we've got for you right here.
We have a good one here, that's for sure. I mean, it has been blow for blow, and both these teams are looking sharp. This is that same formation where Alford got free last one. Formation into the boundary.
Throwing out to LeQuint Allen, who lined up as a receiver, and he picks up 8 yards on 1st down.
It doesn't look like the defense has been adjusting to what you refer to as FSL, formation into the sideline. And Syracuse is going back to it again. You see the strength of this offense. The 2 wide receivers are towards the near sideline.
The give to Allen. Tries to pick his way through. It'll be enough for a 1st down. It's the 3rd quarter, inside of 5 minutes left to go. It has been dominated by the Orange.
Here it is again. All the receivers towards the bottom of your screen.
Bunched up, Shrader will look to throw and looks that way. Gets it to his tight end, Villari. Stays on his feet long enough to get close to that first down, and it looks like he'll make it. 11 yards on the catch for the transfer from Michigan. Army subbing off. Shrader's ready to go. Fakes to Allen, who stays in the chip. Has time to throw over the middle and has a receiver. Another first down. Donovan Brown makes the catch. Shrader's really got into a rhythm throwing the football, Mark. It seems like this third quarter, it's throwing the ball first and using the run just to keep Army honest.
Yeah, he has, and he's found these holes in the zone defense by Army.
They'll run LeQuint down on first down and a whole lot of room up the middle. 27 yards down to the 30-yard line. Casey Larkin finally brought him down, but a huge hole in the middle for LeQuint Allen.
Yes, and you see the linebackers played pass. They were thinking pass first, not run. They bailed out, and long running lane for Allen.
Shrader finds Alford. 7 yards on first down. This Army defense is reeling right now.
They are, and Jason Beck is keeping his foot on the gas.
Army taking advantage of the opportunity to sub players out and taking their time doing it. Crowd doesn't like it, but perfectly within the rules. Shrader to throw quickly. It's Brown. Those quick passes have been very effective here on this drive.
And it's all into the sideline. Army is not adjusting their linebackers over, so worried about the run that, again, the bottom of your screen, you have two wide receivers. They're just going to go there all day long.
Again to Alford. This time, not a whole lot of room as Cameron Jones was right up on him.
Until Army brings a linebacker out and covers up that slot receiver, they're just going to play a two-man game towards the bottom of your screen.
Gain of just one on the play, 2nd and 9.
Look, there's no one here. There's no defender. Now let's see if they walk 31 out.
Fake to LeQuint. Shrader can't connect, trying to hit Hatcher. Jabari Moore defending on the play for the Knights.
Man, it's 3rd and 9, just like that. But they're so worried about the run, and like that, as they should. And Garrett Shrader is picking apart the zone coverage right now. Again, formation into the boundary, your two wide receivers, and now your tight end towards the bottom of the screen.
Shrader to throw. Looking to the end zone. Touchdown, Umari Hatcher.
Flags down after the reception.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 17, his first of the game. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Touchdown.
Call's going to go against Hatcher, who scored. Take another look at it, Mark.
Yeah, let's see what happens towards the end of this play. Good job securing the catch and spinning the football at the defender will give you a penalty every single time.
And Denneberg misses the PAT. That may be big down the road as Syracuse is able to secure their first lead of the day on Hatcher's catch, but Denneberg can't split the uprights on the try, and it's a 6-point advantage for the Orange. It's the third quarter, as we mentioned before, but it bears repeating with 2:01 left to go. Mark, dominated by Syracuse. They've outgained Army 200 to 209 and 11 first downs to just 1 first down for Army.
Man, yeah, and you know, this is an offense that once they get in rhythm and once they get moving, they're going to move at a pace that's so fast that you don't have an opportunity to make adjustments on defense. And I think that's what you saw that last time out. It's okay, we got something. We know if we're going to put our skill receivers into the boundary, Army's not going to adjust. And they picked them apart all the way downfield. Kind of surprised that Jeff Monken didn't call timeout at somewhere in that series to regroup on the sideline with his defense.
Dino with a little bit of an eye roll to Hatcher. I'm sure Hatcher apologizing as best as he could for that ball spin at the end of that touchdown that is going to cost his team now 15 yards on this kickoff.
Yep. And there's nothing wrong with a nice little ball spin, but you can't do it and stare down a defender.
And Denneberg has a bouncing ball picked up by Bo Nicholas Paul, and he's going to return it to about the 32.
Yeah, let's take a look at that last route combination, right? You got Thatcher in here. He's going to run deep vertical. You got right here. He's going to run to the out and swing out the tight end. It brings over the safety and just a miscommunication, a wide open lane to throw, and really good job by Garrett Shrader finding his target for the end zone right between the two safeties.
Strange day for Army offensively. Completely dominant on 2 drives and then stagnant the rest of the way. And they've been stagnant in this third quarter. Daly looking to throw. He's got one-on-one coverage downfield, but that coverage from Isaiah Johnson was outstanding.
Well, I'll tell you what, Isaiah Johnson, the 6'3", 205-pound corner, he was physical all the way down the field, right in the hip pocket of Alston. Really good job defensively. He's a guy who transferred in from Dartmouth a year ago, earned a captain spot on this team for plays just like that.
Now Reed and Mundell in the backfield. Daly on the option, pitches it to Mundell. He's got nowhere to go and is going to lose yards. Justin Barron leading the charge for the Orange defensively.
Captains, captains, captains. Isaiah Johnson, one captain in the last play. Now it's Justin Barron, the other captain. And good pursuit inside out. You see Barron coming from the outside in. You see Marlowe Wax coming from the inside out. And on third down, we've already talked about Rocky Long. This dude wants to bring pressure, but where is it going to come from? That's the question.
Daly's going to have to make something special happen here. 3rd and 15. Daly to throw. Now flushed out of the pocket, his eyes downfield. Tries to hit short, but it was too long.
And it really feels like that pendulum of momentum has swung clearly on the side of the Orange. And interesting, right? A lot of passing plays on that down, and we have not seen a lot of Jacoby Buchanan for Army, their big power back that was so dominant, as you mentioned, on those long drives in the first half.
Even the run play we saw was an outside option play. So once again, Allen with the punt. This one is high and short. Pena, no fear in this guy. DeMarcus Adams checked out on the punt return this time. Both punt returners for Syracuse, not afraid to catch it in traffic and make something happen. Syracuse up 6 with the ball last minute of this third quarter. Don't forget Boston College and Louisville coming your way next. And then North Carolina and Pitt, the nightcap from Steel City.
Those are going to be a fun one. Jamari Thrash, wide receiver for Louisville, has been outstanding. Jawar Jordan in Boston College. You know, who are they really after having a good performance against Florida State? A couple good games later.
You know, Castellanos, that quarterback they've got there, is a wild card. He's a playmaker.
He is a playmaker. Again, no adjustment.
And Alford wide open. 7 yards. Alford is racking up some catches, that is for sure. Short yardage kind of stuff, 5, 6, 7 yards, but it's moving the sticks.
But look at the cushion. I mean, why not throw it out there? And there's no one covering the slot.
Instead, it's Allen up the middle. Big hole, runs into the umpire. Still is able to pick up a big gain of 16 yards. Umpire apologizes, gives him a...
And now we've got to play at our tempo.
You're noticing a lot of high-powered offense, but really going to come down to defense. What more do you want to see here in the final fourth?
Well, I want to see us stay together. This game is not over. This is still a football game. I'm kind of disturbed just doing this interview, Shuri. So this is still a game, and we've got to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's.
We appreciate the time, Coach Babers. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's in the contract, Coach. He, of course, was just joshing with us on that. He's busy.
He's like, I got focus to do. I got to focus on some stuff.
Well, he's getting the run. Oh, LeQuint Allen fell down because he had a lot of blocking in front of him. So after a 7-yard gain during the interview with Coach, he gives one of them back on that field turf monster.
Yeah, big break for Army. You mentioned it. They had something set up there. Moving sideline to sideline.
Big third down for Army. That defense has got to be tired, much like Syracuse was early in this game. They've been on the field almost the entire third quarter and now early in the fourth. Shrader back to throw. Has time. Now he's flushed. Dumps it off underneath to Allen. Still on his feet inside the 20. Down to the 16.
LeQuint Allen Jr. That dude is a bad man. Garrett Shrader keeping his eyes downfield. It's so hard for a quarterback to get his eyes low when he's scrambling around. Really good job with that dump off.
Staying with Allen. Can't dance to the second level. Gets just a yard on first down.
Good play by Jimmy Charlo, excuse me. Getting Allen down, but man, it has been a different Syracuse offense in the second half, and they've actually been able to run plays. I mean, that's the biggest difference. They had pretty good average per play in the first half, just only 17 plays.
Allen met in the backfield. Jack Latore.
Well, might have been a pull read, but good job of kind of making it messy and getting the ball carrier down. Third down and long. This is a big play. Alford towards the top of your screen.
Shrader to throw. Army brings 5. They get inside, but Shrader is able to get out of it temporarily. Still on his feet. And he'll run for it. Down the 11-yard line. Talk about making something out of absolutely nothing. They only gained 4 yards, but that's about as impressive a 4-yard run as you'll ever see.
Yeah, and just phenomenal effort. Good coverage. You see the middle linebacker taking away the deep middle route. And the effort, you mentioned, this Army team might be tired, and they did not show it there. Great effort to bring down Garrett Shrader, who tries to pull a Houdini act to hold him to a field goal try.
Here's Brady Denenberg from 30 yards. Last time out, he missed a PAT, looking to make amends here, and he does. Puts 3 more points on the board for Syracuse. 11:36 remaining here at JMA. Orange on top by 9. Won a national championship as the head coach here at Syracuse back in 1959, and has to be pleased with the way his Orange have played here in the second half. This was a 10-3 game at halftime, and Syracuse was having a hard time stopping Army, and they couldn't get into any rhythm offensively. They really flipped the script in the third quarter, and they've carried it through here with Dino's club in the fourth.
Yeah, they have, and Army got a little bit away from their game plan. They started throwing the ball, running the ball towards the outside more, and it was really the first half. It was the direct runs up the middle that were hurting Syracuse defensively. We noted the changes Rocky Long has made, the adjustments. I wouldn't be surprised if Syracuse doesn't go back to that. Excuse me, Army.
Daly looking to throw on first down. Overshoots his man, Noah Short.
A couple times that Noah Short has been out there on those corner routes, and Bryson Daly just hasn't been able to connect with his receiver. And this is the type of game that in the past, Army would have such a hard time coming back from in their old triple option style offense. And now they feel like they have a little bit more ability to be explosive.
End around. Not much doing. Toby Olawole was the carrier. And it's going to bring up a huge 3rd down and 4.
This crowd, they understand the importance of this down. Wow, wow! Well, the defensive front for Syracuse said, let's do this ourselves. Kevon Darton, watch number 0, absolutely destroys the play himself by driving back the center, and nowhere for the ball carrier to go. That is a strong man right there.
Offense is staying on the field here, Mark. It's just a 9-point game, but Jeff Monken says, I got to make something happen. Daly to throw. Ball is tipped and incomplete. Terry Lockett in on the play. And it's the first time that Army has failed to convert a 4th down all season long. They were 13 for 13 going into that play, and a lot to ask for on 4th down and 9.
And this defensive front, the first drive of the game, were pushed around. Pushed all the way downfield. Well, guess what? When it mattered the most, they stood up and bowed up. First, it was Kevon Darton on the 3rd down play, and then Terry Lockett get that big paw up, block down that pass on 4th.
Now here's the question. Do you go sudden change, try and go to the end zone here on 1st down? Shrader going to keep it himself. Takes a couple of hits, picks up 7. Injured Army Black
Official
Knight on the play.
Point injury. Media timeout.
Can't quite get a number. We'll get one for you here momentarily.
See you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Back here at Syracuse, Andre Miller is the injured Army Black Knight on the field. As you can see the training staff out there with him. They brought the card. His teammates looking on, obviously concerned. If we take another look at that play, it ended up, it looks like friendly fire here, Mark.
Yeah, you see him right here. And as he's going in to make the tackle, he gets Trey Sophia hitting him, and
helmet to helmet. That's what it amounted to. And again, remember, they're taking every possible precaution anytime you're dealing with an injury that is involving the head or the neck area, and that is what this Army training staff is doing. So they've got the card out, they've got the board out. You can see the orange board and the neck brace. You can see Coach Monken on the far side. He's obviously very attentive with this young man, Andre Miller.
Yeah, both training staffs attending to Miller. The Syracuse training staff in that Army green.
Always a difficult moment, whether you're a member of the Army football team, staff, or Syracuse as well. You look at the Syracuse bench, everybody on a knee. It's the one thing you never want to see happen, is somebody being injured on the field, and we certainly wish the best for Andre Miller, as he's getting the best care he possibly could get right now between these two training staffs.
See Dino Babers also coming to check on the young man, and
Ian Munkin sharing a word. Certainly is a brotherhood amongst coaches. These two have been around the block, coaching in a number of different places for a number of years.
And talking to both of them this week, so much respect for each other and each other's football programs.
Again, as we've seen so many times with injuries on the field, precaution is the name of the game. Everything will be done to make sure that when Andre Miller leaves this field on the cart, that he's in as good a hands as possible, and that every potential outcome is addressed.
It's like they've removed his helmet and his shoulder pads.
Stands here at JMA Wireless Dome have grown silent. And if you're just joining us, defensive lineman Andre Miller was involved in a collision with his teammate, like Trey Sophia. Helmet-to-helmet contact. And Andre Miller went down, and the staff immediately came out to check on him. And his teammates obviously concerned. Junior from Savannah, Georgia, Andre Miller. Great that we've got both staffs working on Andre as well, receiving the best possible medical care on the field. We'll take a quick break here. We'll have more after this break.
On a devastating Fansville by Dr.
Injured on the last play during the break. Both teams coming up and wishing him well as he's laid immobilized on the cart. And a standing ovation from those in attendance here at JMA before being taken off the field. Sherry Burris has more.
Watching Andre Miller still being tended to. I can confirm he's being taken to the Level 1 Trauma Center, the Upstate Medical Center, about 4 miles from here. If I get any other updates on Miller, I'll be sure to bring those to you.
All right, thank you, Sherry. Garrett Shrader on the first play back kept it himself, 21 yards for the score to extend the Syracuse lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hard to come back on the field after that type of
Official
situation.
timeout. for an injury.
But really good job on the play and over pursuing defense, and there goes Shrader in for the score, which will give him a commanding lead in this game.
Yeah, that's a big lead in this game, the way Army's offense has been shut down by this Orange defense. Denneberg in for the try to make it a 16-point advantage for Syracuse. And he does just that. Quiet first half for Shrader in this Syracuse Orange offense, but they've really turned it on in the second half, now up to 351 yards of offense.
Yeah, Shrader, efficient in this game, right? 80% completions. He's 20 for 25 through the air with a touchdown and that one interception at the end of the first half. But it's been the composure. It's been the ability for Syracuse to not give up and to bow up defensively in big moments, getting the ball back to their offense and allowing them another chance and another chance and another chance. And Garrett Shrader, you can't give him too many chances because he'll make you pay.
10-3 game at the half. Army was on top, and it has been all orange since coming out here for the second. They've scored 23 straight to wrestle control of this contest. Just a good look at Shrader's score.
That's such a good camera angle. Man, those things are cool.
Again, it's just Shrader came off a performance last week against Purdue. 195 yards on the ground and 4 touchdowns, and he could have had even more, but he took a knee in the final minute of that game to just run out the clock. Daly goes down. Anwar Sparrow in on the tackle. This is just now a little bit of a feeding frenzy for Rocky Long in this defense. Pin your ears back and go after 13 and white.
Yeah, don't let any receivers get behind your deepest man and go get the quarterback.
Daly's going to have to pull it out. Intercepted. Daly let that one go on the way down, and Justin Barron was on the receiving end going the other way.
Justin Barron has had himself a day. 6 tackles, a TFL that was big in this game, and then an interception that should all but seal it for Syracuse.
Yeah, desperate moments for Bryson Daly in this Army offense, and they're much more able to throw the football than they have been in the past, but still, it's not their forte, and coming from behind it's not where they're comfortable. Allen follows his blockers. Give him 8. Even with the big lead, Syracuse still does what they do, don't they? They want to go fast. Allen, first down.
Sometimes when you're used to going fast, and then you slow it way down, you worry about operation, you worry about penalties. And, when they're at this point in the field, you say, okay, we get another score on the board, we get another 7 points, we don't have to worry about clock or anything. I mean, it's our game.
LeQuint Allen hobbled off on that last run. Juwan Price now in at tailback for Syracuse. He's flanked to Shrader's right. First and 10 from the 15. Give us to Price. Met at the line of scrimmage. Dropped there.
And if you think that this Army team is going to quit, got other news for you. They're going to keep playing hard.
Still just a 2-score game right now, Mark. They can somehow force a turnover here, get off the field without any points put on the board. They've got a shot.
They do.
Price now to Shrader's left. He'll look to throw. Has all kinds of time. Now he'll tuck and run. Got to make a man miss. And he did initially, able to pick up a couple more yards, gets 7.
Good coverage on the back end. Tries to hit him with the dead leg. Good job by Leo Lowen, getting him down on the ground.
3rd and 3, clock ticking under 7 minutes. Shrader to throw. Still has plenty of time. Now the pocket collapses and he's sacked. Jimmy Charlo got there and is presumably going to force a field goal try here by Syracuse. This would make it a 3-score game, so obviously it's a huge kick for Denneberg.
Cam Jones blocked a 24-yarder in the opener. Not this time.
Denneberg sends it through. And the Orange in complete control this afternoon at JMA. Carolina and Pitt, our primetime game here on the ACC network. Sherry Burris has a little bit more on Andre Miller, the injured Army Black Knight.
Chris, we're still waiting for a further update on Miller's status. As we saw, it was a very scary hit. The trainers from both teams working on him. I saw him go down the tunnel, be from the cart, put on a stretcher. I can confirm he was taken to the Level 1 Trauma Center about 4 miles away. It's the Upstate Medical Center. Again, no update yet on Miller, but again, if I get anything else, I will bring that to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Sherry. Appreciate that. And certainly that's what's top of mind on that man's mind right there, Jeff Monken. Catch made by Short. Dropped immediately on the play by Jeremiah Wilson, who's still down.
Official timeout for an injury.
Oh, man.
Wilson was able to bring down Short after a gain of about 5 yards. Now Wilson being looked at by the Syracuse staff.
Really good break on the ball. A good tackle, but that knee kind of hit him in the side of the helmet. You know, hopefully it's a, you know, not hope anything, right? But hope it's a stinger and not a major injury as he does sit up.
He's holding that shoulder. That's what I was thinking. You know, when he first hit it, shoulder right into that thigh, that might be a shoulder stinger.
Yeah, anytime that neck gets that flexion and then you hit the shoulder, you can irritate a nerve.
Wilson will get up and walk off mostly under his own power, so that's a good sign. And we'll head back to the locker room, or at the very least the tent, for further evaluation. Second down and 5 for Army. Daly to give to Johnson. Bounces it outside. He's able to pick up maybe an extra yard before Justin Barron makes the stop once again.
Another great job by Justin Barron. He's had a phenomenal day. And look at the secondary. Justin Barron's really one of the few guys who returned from last year.
Back shoulder, what a catch by Alston.
Moly. I mean, we got to see that one again. Army's going fast. They don't want to let us do it, but I mean, this was, you know, a back hip catch. That was amazing focus.
Yeah, Coach Thatcher, offensive coordinator, talked about his hands. You saw him on that play. On this play, Daly sacked once again. Jobity on the tackle. Sophomore from Buffalo. There's a look at Alston. 2nd down and 16.
What a
catch by the tight end, Lingenfelter. All right. Coach Thatcher said these guys are not much for the passing game. They're much more weight room guys, guys in run support.
Well, Lingenfelter's going to cut that clip and show it to Coach tomorrow and say, throw me the ball more.
Daly's going to run it on his own. Gets what he can for about 4 yards. Take another look at Lingenfelter.
Senior out of Panama City, Florida. 0 catches on the season. Only 3 catches last year.
That was the scramble play by Daly when he was able to pick up 5.
I promise it was a great catch. And that's PI.
That's going to be, yep. Simmons and Short got tangled up near the goal line, and the flag will come out.
There's a flag on the play.
Simmons is pleading his case. Incidental entanglement, but I have a feeling that Tim Hedgepeth may think otherwise.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. Hey, Patrick, get us that.
Forgot to turn his mic off, I think, but we mentioned the secondary for Syracuse, and you know they lose Deuce Chestnut, they lose Garrett Williams, they lose Jihad Carter. They're really only returning 2 guys, and they've had the guys who were backups last year really step up. They've been playing well in this game. They need to continue that as the season goes on. And Chris, you mentioned it. Apart from those 2 long drives that Army had in the first quarter, this Syracuse defense, I mean, they've lived up to the hype.
Daly throwing in the end zone. Isaiah Alston was the intended receiver. Jaden Gould's coming oh so close to picking that one off in the corner. Alston couldn't fight his way free.
Great coverage again by Isaiah Johnson. The 5th-year senior has just been physically all over Alston, not letting him get separation.
3rd down and 10. Syracuse coming with some pressure. It's picked up. Daly's intercepted. Gould, this time he made sure he caught it. And he returns it out to the 16. Close on the last play. Made it work on this one.
Well, they came into today defensively #1 in the ACC and 4th in the FBS, only giving up 9 points a game. 1st in the ACC in turnovers gained, and they are going to continue to be towards the top of the league.
The pass interference was on number 6.
Carlos Del Rio Wilson now in the game at quarterback. They give to Juwan Price. The Orange will look to run the clock out. Now under 4 minutes to go and a big advantage. Syracuse has a daunting task from here on out. They'll be 4-0 on the season. They've got Clemson next week, at North Carolina the following week, at Florida State the following week.
I think when you circle tough stretches in your schedule, that might be
probably
the toughest.
Would be assumed as one of them.
If they get past that stretch, though, they have winnable games after that. You know, how lucky did he get? The first throw he had in the game could have been a pick six and ended up being dropped. But that man right there, he's brought life to this Syracuse offense, and it's a formidable team. You know, they're going to start 4-0 in out-of-conference play, and then for the rest of the way, it's all ACC play. First time they've gone 4-0 out of conference. A little bit what he did today, right? The big pass taking care of the mismatch in height on the outside, and then just continued to feed the short side of the field until he found the end zone through the air and then on the ground. He is a problem for defenses, and he's been a problem today.
3rd down and 1. And it looked like Price is going to come up a little bit shy. Jabari Moore on the stop.
Charge timeout. Army, their second of the half. It will be 30 seconds.
Army calls timeout. So they want to get the ball back to see if they can do one last thing offensively. Well, for 10 years, ESPN has supported the College Football Playoff Foundation, bringing the college football community together during Extra Yard for Teachers Week to celebrate and honor great teachers. Since its inception, the CFP Foundation has recognized over 500,000 educators. For more, follow at CFP Extra Yard. Rocky Long, the architect, in Dino Baber's words, of that 3-3-5 defense. And you think about, you know, last year Tony White was here. Tony White was a student of Rocky Long's, and Tony White is now at Nebraska. So Dino says everybody on this team was familiar with the 3-3-5 and Tony White. So let's bring in the man who taught Tony White, Rocky Long.
And it was funny, you know, when Tony White left and went to Nebraska, Dino Babers called Rocky Long and said, "Hey, who else you got for me?" Because, you know, he recommended Tony White in the first place, and I got no one else. I'm the only one left. He said, "Well, come and work for me then." And here he is, leading one of the top defenses in the entire country.
Nice job by Jack Stonehouse. 54 yards on the kick. Nobody back to return it for Army as they were all in on the punt block. It's a good look at Rocky Long. Syracuse will continue to be right around that number coming into this game, 4th in the country in scoring defense. And look at those other names on that list.
I know.
That's some pretty heady company.
It sure is. And I mean, this is an Army team that scored 57 points in week 2, 37 points last week against a good UTSA team, and just not able to get the ball in the end zone very much today.
And now Daly will look here, finding short, wide open down the middle of the field.
Oh, but maybe now they will.
20, 10, and he'll score. 80 yards. Well, if nothing else, it'll do 2 things, Mark. It'll pad the stats, but it also gives Bryson Daly, who's had a tough time throwing the football today, a little bit of confidence going into next week's game.
Yes, it will. And
it won't be easy for him either. They got Boston College next week.
Yeah, they do. And Bryson Daly, we haven't talked about him as much in the second half because the offense has been a little stagnant, but he is a heck of a player.
Now rolling out, sidearms it, incomplete on the 2-point try. Finally hooked up with Noah Short. They've been trying 5, 6, 7 times, I feel like. They finally got it together.
Yeah, they have, and the safety got caught with his eyes low. It looked like the defensive back, Greenwood, was expecting help deep. You see him from that nickel position, and that's got to be that safety over top. Explosive play for Army.
Noah Short's second touchdown catch of the season. Looks like Syracuse might have the hands team out there. Got LeQuint Allen on the far side. All this stuff gives you opportunities to practice in game, doesn't it?
Well, and also, if they convert, if they get this onside kick and go down and score, hey, it's a one-score game. I mean, like, Jeff Monken's not going to hang up his cleats,
Right. Stranger things have happened.
When there's a possibility, try to capitalize.
They do the high onside kick. Barron touches it, but it rolls out of bounds. Once Barron touched that, that was a live ball, even if it doesn't go 10 yards, which it didn't, but it does roll out of bounds.
The ruling on the field is that the kicked ball touched the receiving team prior to going out of bounds. First down.
Both teams with an opportunity to work on it. It worked out in Syracuse's favor, although it wasn't a little less than ideal, I guess you could say.
Yep. Garrett Shrader took a series off and now back in the game.
Along with LeQuint Allen. Allen gets about 3 yards. Army's going to call their third and final timeout.
Charge timeout. Army, it will be 30 seconds.
Reminds me of a story. I had a friend who was a walk-on offensive lineman at Auburn, right? And they were hammering Louisiana Monroe by like 50. Offensive line coach calls a bunch of the walk-ons over. They're going in the game, right? They're finally going to get a chance to play at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Louisiana Monroe scores to make it like a 43-point game. And he said, sorry, fellas. I can't do it.
Yep. Hey, you know what?
What do you 43 points?
When coaches are funny beasts. Once they see a little chink in their armor, they're like, wait. Let's shore this thing back up.
Hold on a minute, guys. Can't put you in. Sorry. Can't make your dreams come true of getting a series in at Jordan-Hare. But here's LeQuint Allen now back in the game. We mentioned the stretch they've got coming up.
Yep.
Allen on the carry. Brought down after a gain of just 1. Austin Hill on the tackle for Army. Allen is right at 100 yards. I believe he had 16 at the half.
A couple big breakaway runs. One for a touchdown and one for another 20-plus yard gain.
There he is, 102 yards, healthy average, and that score. A couple of pass catches as well. Shrader stretches forward, won't pick up the first down. It's Austin Hill again on the tackle.
Austin Hill's had a good game.
Yeah, he's beat up too. You see him running off to the sideline, 52 in white. He's just, he has just taken a pounding and delivered a pounding today. If you're wearing a C on your jersey and you're playing for Army, that's pretty special, given the leadership qualities for everybody wearing a white jersey here today.
That is absolutely true. On a team full of leaders,
charge timeout.
You are that leader.
Syracuse, their first of the half.
Syracuse calling a timeout now. Dino wants to think this over with 4th and 5.
Man, the chess match never ends.
No. You got to think this is a coffin corner, don't you? Try to pin him deep. A team that really isn't a quick strike offense, although they just struck for 80 yards on their last offensive play.
Yep.
Hey, Tuesday night on the ACC Network, the Nothing But Net crew breaking down every ACC school's upcoming basketball schedule, starting with the women's teams at 7 o'clock Eastern, then the men's at 8 o'clock. College basketball season tips off earlier and earlier every year. It's November 6th this upcoming year. And you think about some of the great basketball tradition, the schools can also play a little football. Look at all these teams that were 3-0 coming into the weekend from traditional basketball blue bloods. Great start for Duke. We had them last week. They're for real. Shrader, pump fake. Now he's going to Alford. What a catch! Well, that's what Damien Alford at 6'6" brings you.
I mean, how nice is it for a quarterback? I mean, that's not winning on a route. That's just throwing the ball up there. And that would be on you got mossed. That was a...
And Bo Nicholas Paul with great coverage.
I know. It just, you know, there's a thing about being 5'11" and you're covering a guy who's not only 6'6", right? He's 6'6", 210 pounds. I mean, he's a physical 6'6". That would be on the highlight reel.
No doubt. Shrader, and it will also scare the heck out of every defensive coordinator and coach that you're facing from here on out, knowing you can just chuck it up there and your guy is going to high point at 6'6" like he's pulling down a rebound.
Yep.
One more knee should do it, and the Orange will improve to 4-0 on the season before a big-time stretch in the ACC begins next week right here against Clemson. First time they've ever finished their non-conference slate unbeaten, going all the way back to 1991 when they joined the Big East.
Yeah, admirable effort by Jeff Munget's Army team, and prayers